Good morning. Yes, we are back. So, good morning. Welcome to Mid Morning Medium Chat with Adam the Black Swamp Medium. Thank you for being here on this Easter weekend. And hello, Father Jason. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, hopefully you guys are doing well. Maybe depending on where you are, it's a little wet out there. So it is raining, so if you're not getting rain, good for you. Hey, Tina, good morning. God, for a second there, Tina, I almost said Stacy. I was going to say your last name. I just looked, I saw good morning, and I was like, Stacy was the first word I saw. Thank God I paused for just a millisecond longer before I was like, hey, Stacy, how's it going? That was great. See, that's when that's the problem. If you read too fast, you skip over important information. I can see that. So, Morning, Amber. Good morning. Jill, good morning. Happy Easter to you and your family. Yeah, how could it be a good morning with all the rain last night? Well, I can tell you, Father, that it was not raining at 1 a.m, so I can vouch for that. I can truly vouch for that because I was getting home at 1 a.m., which I'll talk about here in a moment. Margaret, good morning. Happy Easter. Okay, you got rain too. Yeah, I didn't even look at radar this morning. It wasn't even necessary because you hear rain hitting the windows and stuff. That pretty much says it all. So so I wasn't going to worry too much. Jason saying delivering little Debbie's in the rain this morning wasn't much, but oh my gosh, yeah, no, yeah, don't get that wet either, Jason. Yeah, don't. Yeah, no, that's a mess, man. Then you have to really do some cleanup, right? But oh, Tina saying I get called Stacy often because I have a twin named Gina, so I called the two. Well, here you go. So okay, well, at least you wouldn't be too, upset over it, So, but yeah, no, that's interesting. Yeah, yeah. So it was, yeah. So it was fine last night, So I don't know. So it was. I didn't notice it until I was waking up with my son this morning. So even though I was out late, I did. I asked to wake up with him. So, but he woke up. I think it was like I couldn't tell you exactly because I didn't really look at the clock at one point. Hey, Michelle. Yeah, good morning from rainy Morocco. I mean, I just mentioned that too. We got rain back here, stuff. So, well, I already told you that in messages. So, but yeah, Michelle's, still on her trip over there, and she's in Morocco now. And she messaged me this morning saying that she was asking about, why all this, large amounts of rain. And the interesting thing is they haven't seen this significant amount, since 2009. So I think that's really, you get little bits here and there, but they're getting pretty hit. So, ain't nothing like being on vacation and then having a little rain to slow you down. But they've been doing great. So they've been keeping at it. So, but they're winding up. They're on the tail end of the trip, so they got a few more days, and so that's good. But love the photos. So, Amber saying you can deliver little Debbie's to your house, rain or shine. Well, that's true. That is true. So, hey, Donna, good morning. Sharon, good morning. Jill saying, Jason, bless you for keeping our little Debbie safe. That's true. I mean, like I said, you got it, with rain, snow, I mean, you can't get that stuff wet. It's just mush at that point, right? Deliver here also. My dad, good with a cup of coffee. Absolutely. Not that I'm going to do that on camera. I'm not going to be doing live, reviews of food and things like that. Anyway, hey Jeff, good morning. How's your tail feathers, buddy? Inside joke, gang. I gotta pick on my boy. Right, Jason. Not all heroes wear capes. Exactly. That's true. That's true. There is a lot of unappreciated, guys and gals that end up doing a lot of cool things that not everybody recognizes. So good for you. Yeah, we recognize you, Jason. Even if it's this little show on a Saturday morning. So we do recognize you. There are at least a couple handfuls of people that do appreciate it. So feathers are fluffed and fine. I bet, Jeff. Yeah, at least you had great weather. I mean, other being a little cool, but you at least had sunny skies. So I mean, yesterday was a great day for Toledo Mud Hens opener, so that was cool. And I heard they won, so I mean, that's even better, especially on opening day. You like that first win, get you rolling. My dad's saying it would be funny hearing you talk with a mouthful of those. I mean, that would be horrible because even then, if it's getting stuck in the beard, oh boy, that would be a treat. I don't know what kind of show that is going to turn into. It's just going to be mess, and then I'm going to have like a tarp underneath me. So that's true. They did. They won late. That's right, Dad. They did win. I was keeping track of it, and it wasn't until like finally, like it seemed like it was getting pretty dicey there because they were up, then they were tied, and then they were losing, and then they finally brought it back from behind. So hey, can't complain about that. So Amber saying when there is a level 3, people buy bread, milk, and snack cakes. He's always has to leave in the snow to refill the shelves. I said that's some good. That's good people right there. That's just the way to look at it. When you keep those shelves fully stocked of snacky cakes, man, I'm telling you. So, hey, Nikki, good morning. Nikki, you got to let me know real quickly in case you have to bolt. How's the weather right now? We've got rain over here. We got rain up in Morocco where my friend Michelle is. So we're just kind of curious, how's the weather, Nikki? Do you have wet weather, snow? I know you're in the transition, out of it, but yeah, Dad's saying need the important things first. Absolutely. I mean, snack cakes will fill you up. I mean, you get a little bit of that sugar, which can be pretty difficult in a survival situation. So now the sun is shining. Okay, well, you know what, Nikki? Then just you can keep it for a little bit, keep the sunny skies for a little bit, but then you got to let that push it over this way. Let it. We had a great day yesterday, but now we got rain today. So, give some back. You can't hog all of it. Okay. but yeah, so hopefully everybody's had a great week. Hopefully you guys have had some fun. Basically, I mean, I'm sure everybody was working their tails off and stuff. Hey, what's Michelle saying? You know what would protect the beard from crumbs? Rubber. Oh my God. Geez, so that's another messages thing going on in the background. Yeah, okay, Michelle. Okay, Nikki, good. I'm glad you're letting it, you're not going to keep it all for yourselves. You're going to let, share some of it. I appreciate that. I mean, you could share. We can share. There's nothing wrong with that, But yeah, no, it was good. Overall decent week, still a little stressful on things and stuff like that. And so that's just one of those things, I'm not gonna, beat down a dead horse type of thing, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on, I mean, any of you that's ever taken up managerial positions, it's whoo, man, when it gets going, it gets going. And so then it's like being a tech before, it was always easier to just as soon as you got done with something and then you had a moment that was great. And so now it's like you got to deal with a bunch of different things, and sometimes they're all at the same time. So I've gotten quite good at keeping somewhat organized on that aspect of being able to deal with one thing at a time, seeing what's priority, deal with it, and move on to the next. So it's crazy because I know even Thursday, it was like you get so much, and then it was just it's like, okay, I got through it, and then you're like, oh man, it's like you almost feel like a panic attack's going to happen because it's just like intense, but you get through it. So, there is a positive outcome. And the funny thing is then it's before the panic attack would hit, another, situation came out. So then I'm dealing with that. So I'm just constantly being distracted. So, there is that, not the kind of distractions you want, but at least, the focus is, you can shift your focus and stuff. Yeah. Congratulations to my dad and my brother who's on the same team. They won their league, for the championship. So that was cool. Congrats for that. Nikki, of course, sharing is caring. Absolutely. Margaret saying, I watched the drivers and workers at the distribution center back in the bakery outlet store I worked in. There are walls of racks of baked goods that get sorted out by the route, and then they bring back in returns for the store. Lots of hard work. Oh yeah. Yeah. People don't realize it all the time, unless you know somebody or you see some type of, documentary or things like that. Yeah. You just don't know. But yeah, no, so I mean, like I said, it's the, doing just getting through things, but definitely got a rhythm for it, and things. I don't want I think I said it last week. I mean, I'm not I don't want to quit. It's not there yet, even when some of the situations are, you just want to bang your head on the desk, but not yet. So I mean, it's you have to you have to suck it up in some way, because I wanted that. I've been wanting to really move up. So and now I got it. So now I gotta own it. So, and I am, you're still learning things here and there, but that's a part of the whole deal. So, but I definitely feel like I got a good rhythm going down, and making the best decisions, for the department and the team, and that's all that matters. As long as things keep working, and you're not getting yelled at, that you're doing a terrible job. Certain aspects of the job, can be frustrating for other management and things like that, but that's normal. So, but I gotta, be the kind of the cool middleman of it, and just kind of smooth things out. So that works out. Um, Amber, the basement's definitely dry. That was one of the things I waited until last weekend's show to mention, was that, yeah, everything's dry. I'm literally sitting where there was water, so pretty good. No, we've with Easter and stuff this weekend, and a few other little odds and ends. We haven't been able to um, get a lot of other things squared away, so we're trying to get some dates scheduled, so that way we can get foundation repairs done. So that's really what we're trying to focus on. But yeah, we got to get through Easter and things, and then I know April's going to be a rough month for me. I mean, in a good way. It's just busy. And so even then, we're going to try to get it in then, which is only going to take like one day for them to do all the work they need to do. So that's cool. It's just getting it ready. But there, man, there's no weekends that I can think of off the top of my head that are even available, like, at all. So April's a loaded month, and then May is about half full, especially when I'm in regards to weekends. So there's a few things that it's like I may have like one free weekend in May, I think, at this point. But other than that, it's kind of packed already. And so yeah, like the next 2 months, the weekends are pretty solid. So yeah, but this April is going to be pretty rough. And like I said, it's all in a good way. And I'll probably be able to share some of that, because some of it is kind of fun. Uh, but more family based than anything, not so much me, which is okay. Nothing wrong in that. So, let's see where we at. Da, da, da. Let's see. um, right. My dad's saying, when you stop learning, it means you're dead. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that, Margaret. Yeah, it costs a pretty penny. Well, the foundation repair is not even into that's ultra low. My foundation repairs is not even in the ballpark of what you did. Mine is way more than that, and that's because it's foundation, because that's important. So, um, let's see. Uh, yeah, and you have, Dad. I know you've been in the same boat, so but yeah, that's and then nowadays nothing's cheap, and so it's even more expensive. I mean, we got locked in last year with the total amount, so at least we know we know what our number is. We just know that we're not gonna be, it's not gonna be any more, which I know it is now. But so we're kind of fortunate that we put a big deposit down already. Um, so that's cool. But yeah, it's not it's no joke, but it's the area. I mean, it's not surprising that at some point, depending, even in all the neighborhoods around where we live, there's no doubt about that. Somebody or everybody's going to have issues at some point. You'd be lucky if you don't, because we have mostly clay. And so, hence the black swamp, part of my catch name is, we lived in the Great Black Swamp. And so this isn't dirt. This is, basically clay. So, I mean, unless you're bringing in fresh dirt and putting it on top of that to kind of start building that up, yeah, you're dealing with clay, and clay, it's not always solid. Let's see. And then Michelle saying, one of the reasons I love traveling so much is every day is something experience and learn. Yeah, Michelle. I mean, and that's the best part about it. Even if it's a camping trip or something like that, even if you're just going to some campground, or you're within a state park or something like that, at least you still can get out and you can walk around and maybe see something you didn't see the day before. So yeah, but that's always cool too, especially on a real sightseeing tour like you've been doing over there in Spain and now Morocco. So Amber saying, "Oh, don't spread yourself too thin." Oh no, no, no. Yeah, I mean that's what I say. I'm getting that's the rhythm of everything. So Tom, good morning. Um, my buddy Tom, got some good news yesterday. So he was working on it, and I'm gonna say it, Tom. Well, I'm not gonna say where, but congratulations. He was trying to get a job that he was really interested in and something he's done in the past. And so he got the good news. And so, congrats to him. And I know he's looking forward to it because I was talking to him a little bit yesterday. So it's exciting to see that because he's, a couple of the last jobs have not been, so good, at least the people. And I know that's, that's been the bummer part about it. The people have kind of switched and changed. And so that you hate to see that. And, but he did the right thing, and he's moved on and now he's, landed another one. So I'm excited to see his energy go through the roof. So, which I kept asking him a little bit. I'm like, I'm like, you got to be, I think I said that too. I was like, you got to feel like you're really, high in a way, and stuff. So, but good morning, Dan. Good morning. Let's see. Just making sure. Oh yeah, Dad. Yeah, the number's terrible. The number's terrible. So yeah, I'm not saying it. I'll wait until the true official number. But then again, I don't know if I'm going to say it publicly because it's just like it hurts just to see the number as it is. So, do you know how many truckloads you would need to fill? Also, the building needs to lay the foundation times correct. Yeah. Well, right. Yeah. But hey, Bonnie. Good morning. So, yeah. So anyway, real quickly, and then because I wanted to make sure I tried again. I was trying to be a little bit more organized about some stuff, but sometimes I just get all off and things of that sort. So, I'm just like, oh, yeah. So anyway, real quickly, because in case I run out of time with the topic synchronicities, hopefully, everybody, if you are celebrating Easter tomorrow, hopefully you have a good time. I know some people have, started already because depending on your family size or whatever the circumstances is. So hopefully, your Easter weekend is great and hopefully you get to spend time with family and excuse me, if it's not something you do or you're able to still hang out with people or, or even if you're just staying home and, keeping quiet and, turning on a movie or something, that's awesome too. So, do whatever, makes you happy, in whatever fashion. So, anyway, so I did want to hit on, let me go to my other screen real quickly. So I know I've talked about it before. It's just, I didn't want to do that. Oh, well, it didn't kill it, but anyway, I screwed that up. I didn't want to close a window that I didn't need, but, yeah, Michelle, apparently I'm celebrating Ramadan this year instead, right? Yeah, no Easter for you, but Ramadan, absolutely. That's the dad saying that's the name of the Police album. Are we talking about Sync? Right. Yeah, exactly. No, like I said, I think I've talked about it once before. If I did, it was more of a minor subject or, because sometimes I have which by the way, too, I think next weekend, I think next weekend I'm going to touch on the eclipse and things. So, because I know that's become a huge thing, which is I'm going to save a lot of my comments for next week. And so that kind of a heads up that'll be my topic for next Saturday. It'll be about the eclipse on that Monday. So, but I wanted to, touch on synchronicity again. And I want to read the definition verbatim. So that way it's there. But yeah, so if you're not familiar with it, hey, Deborah, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. So if you're not familiar with synchronicity, this is, one of the definitions for it. So, you could always look this stuff up too, but it is pretty cool, especially like when you're in the, and I'm going to use it as, the broad sense of terms, in the spiritual, universal way of life, it's interesting. And so you probably have experienced it at some point in your life, but you probably didn't think much of it, or you just kind of blew it off. Some of us that really dive into these things and really take notice, it's pretty darn cool. And the story I'm about to share, is just one of those too. And that happened this week. So, good morning, Kate. And so, but yeah, synchronicity, the simultaneous occurrence of events which appear to significantly related, but have no discernible causal connections. So, uh, you probably have seen it where, you know, maybe we've talked about, if you setting intentions and things, and so you've, say, hey, I really, I'm really struggling, and let's say it's money. You're really struggling with money, and who hasn't at some point? I know I've been for years, and so, um, you kind of put those intentions out there, and then sometimes what happens is you might get something, you might see a message back, and it's like, oh, that's pretty cool, um, and even then, I didn't ask him for details, but even then, I'm going to use Tom for just a second. But that was the same thing. He kind of had that hit, of like, this is where he should, he should apply. And so it was just one of those things. It was, you get the message and you're like, I've got to do it, and it's that thing. So, but then what's really neat is continue to get message throughout that day or even that week, and where it just keeps point, more and more based on what you're doing. And so, uh, most people just don't think of it. They just keep moving on with their day, or they just think, oh, that's just some strange coincidence, which is fine. There's nothing wrong in that. I think it's just interesting that, a lot of people just blow it off. And so, it's not like it happens every single day. And I can't imagine, there's a lot of great people here, and there's no way that anybody who's been like every single day just has tons and tons of things all related to one thing, whatever it may be. And it just you keep getting messages for that one thing every single day for 365 days a year. It doesn't happen. So that's why, when people just kind of blow it off, or it's coincidence and they don't think much of it, it's like, and then when it does happen, I'm like, how could you not at least be interested, or kind of inquire as to why, you know? Um, but I know my dad's writing a bunch. Jeez. Deborah saying sometimes you ignore it if you don't want it to do well. Yeah, and that's your freedom of choice too. Especially with the universe, you have freedom of choice to run with it or not. But so Dan, who I know is hopefully still watching, he doesn't usually comment a lot, but he hangs out, or he catches the show, a little bit later on in the weekend. But Dan, we always kind of check in with each other every day. Just like, hey, good morning, or a lot of times with Dan gets a lot of times where he'll send me a lot of cool memes or funny pictures and things. And so, it's just one of those things. It's just quick little stuff, and he just happened to hit me up, and I want to go just to make sure I don't miss some of it and go out of sync with it and things. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Let me find it real quick. I just want to get the beginning of it. Yeah, there we go. Now we're there. Dun, dun. Yeah, here we go. Just where. Okay, cool. At least I got a starting point. So, Tom saying I applied to 30 jobs, and this was the only one that interviewed for, and it's a dream job. So there, see, yeah, that's incredible too. To go through all that, and only one out of that, was interested, man. Cool dance there. But so yeah, and usually it's just, again, he sends a lot of hilarious memes and things, and so once in a while I'll find a good one and then send it to him too. But he always just got a plethora. So yeah, he's kind of like my meme meme guy right now. Meme, not mean. But so yeah, but he said, hey, and I asked him too if it, to use his name and share the story, because again, this was a cool synchronicity thing that just it wasn't at first. It didn't hit at first, but it wasn't. You'll see, because I'm not going to read everything and stuff like that. But he just said, hey man, he was I had this one I'll read verbatim. He's I had a strange dream last night. There was lots of strange what going on, but one of them was that you shaved your beard off. So and I'm just, and I'm always, me loving to do dream interpretation. So it's like, really, and Dan in particular has, a lot of his dreams somehow, some way usually end up having some validity to it, which is it blows me away even when he will share something like that. And I'm just like, no kidding. So and the funny part is that was my first comment back. I'm like, no kidding, you know, and and I said, well, it's interesting enough. And I said, well, honestly, I said for a few days, but actually, for probably the last couple weeks, ever uh since I got back from the movie, I always, I've had the thoughts. And relax. Some of you that love the long hair and the beard, relax a second. Wait till I finish the story before you start commenting. So just hold on. Because this is another reason why I really wanted to tell the story, because I know so many of you love the beard and stuff. And I was just like, hold on, you gotta wait. So, and I said, well, interesting enough, I said, there's right now, I said, I have no intention. I have no intention of shaving off anything. I mean, I did the cheeks and stuff for the movie, and still had and pulled my hair back and stuff like I do now, for the show. And I said, so I love everything right now. I have no intention. I said, but I said, I've not told anybody. So here's something I'm sharing publicly for the first time. It's like, there is a couple options, or scenarios, if you will, that I would consider it, and I say, so I said, and so we went back and a couple little things, and then I just said, well, look, I said, well, here's a couple things that I was thinking of. I said, one, I said, if by chance, because I said when I talked about, having a part in Cruel Summer 3 and having some lines, and I was really enjoying it. And plus I was, already was kind of interested in wanting to do it a little bit more anyway. I, I'm humble enough to not realize I'm not going to be making obviously the big screen, you know what I mean? But doing like indie films or something like that, that would be great. And to have some parts, and not necessarily even, I'm not looking for like the top lead role in a particular film or something. So, but I was just like, if I had something that where, it would warrant it more, I said that would be something I would consider. I would consider shaving it off for, the role. And I'd be cool with that. I mean, hopefully, maybe I could find a role that it'll fit the part of, some wise man, a wizard, or even, some type of biker looking dude, so at least, maybe I wouldn't necessarily have to, but if I needed to, I would. And so, and I said the other one is, and this one, like I said, I've scratched the surface on this year, but I haven't really like uh um explained it in more depth. But Margaret saying, I've seen you before, you grew a beard and you look nice either way. Well, I mean, 2018 was when it all started. So January of 2018 is when I started growing this. So yeah, I mean, it's no joke, as this stuff's been, hey Chris, good morning. And so yeah, I mean, I've not been clean shaven since, before 2018. Well, literally, going into 2018, I shaved like in December, and then that was it. I haven't shaved completely everything off since. Now, trimmed everything down. Obviously, I've done the cheeks. Hey Della, good morning. And then this part, I have clipped several times, so I have taken, a couple inches off couple times now throughout the year or two. Oh, no worry, Della, we're just getting into things. And so but yeah, so that was one of the things, is that if I got more, but that's the thing is, if I could fit roles that would make it work, great. Or it depending on the role, if there was more lines. So, hey, good morning, Jamie. Right. Tell me to shave. So what's up, Nate? But yeah, so that was just one of the things. So if I had more opportunities, or there was more acting, and if it really did truly call for it, then I would look into it. Obviously, hey Rebecca, like I said, there's stipulations, but like, that was one of the cool things with Cruel Summer 3 was that, it was like, hey, you don't need to, you didn't need to, because it wasn't necessarily, you could still be yourself and things. Hey Ron, good morning. And that I appreciate it. It was kind of nice, to think that, you only have like a couple lines, and then, you shave it just for a couple lines, not that would be wrong. Cause I mean, people have to do that all the time. And so, I mean, I've, even when I worked on Never Blink, the one of the actors, usually has a cool, goatee, and he had to shave it down because of a lot of makeup and applications and things of needed that clean face. And so, it's a bummer, but there was so much that he was doing and so much that he was involved that it makes sense in the end, that you are trimmed up and things like that. So, um, but yeah, I mean, it's just one of the. I think you would have a ghost beard. Probably. Well, yeah. I mean, the last time I had a full beard, which was, I want to say 2000. I think I started growing it in '08, or yeah, I think I started growing it in end of '08, and then I still had a pretty good full beard by the fall of '09, because I remember trick or treating for my daughter when she was just turning, she just turned, well, it was 1.5 at that point, and I remember having a big beard then. So it was weird when I finally shaved it all off. It was weird just to like not feel something, so it is kind of different. So but well, Della, we gotta remember the movie's not even out yet. So um Cruel Summer's, is definitely not going to be it's going to be in the summer at some point. So July would be the earliest. August probably be more ideal, but even then, technically, until the premiere happens, first, then they'll start, burning off all the DVDs and Blu-rays and things like that before they start going out. So it'll be a little while before that happens, but but that's okay, and plus it'll get on streaming at eventually at another point. So a lot of people that don't want to buy a hard copy, will be able to get streaming in there as well. But so yeah, it'd probably be fall, getting more in the fall time, that then physical copies will be, coming out. So, uh, but anyway, yeah. So I mean, so like I said, the acting thing worked out. That's what I do. So then I said the other thing that I said that would be a possibility. Now, like I said, I touched on it, but I haven't like explained it more. But so something else that I would consider shaving it was, if by chance, and I've been working on it, for years now, and I never had any real professional training. So you catch a few little YouTube videos just to kind of use it to your advantage, and then some of it's just figuring it out on your own. But I've been working on my vocals. I've been trying to get a little bit better at singing, and I enjoy it. It's been a real good go-to for me, especially like when over the last few years, really, uh singing has, uh because it's, for me, the easiest time to sing is in my car. Not so much in the morning, because everybody's voice is kind of like messed up anyway. But I typically like to sing on the way home. One, it just keeps me, uh Amber singing. I knew it. um I and so it keeps me awake, because a lot of times I'm exhausted from being up so early. So it keeps me awake. So it keeps the blood flowing, and it keeps me, I can focus on the road. I can look straight ahead, so I don't have to really look anywhere. I'm not playing an instrument, but then I can practice things. And then, like, because I had a band growing up, and I did everything wrong vocally wise, and so it was one of those things that I would damage it. And luckily I wasn't doing, when I had a band, we weren't doing that many songs in a set. So for me, it just, I was determined to do that. And like I said, I'm not pushing, or I'm not really racing to try to do anything fantastic. I just want to be able to, you know, put it on, yeah, there'll be some pitch issues, of course, but if it can get through it, and you don't, it's not, nails on a chalkboard kind of maneuver, and so that would be it. And the only reason that the shaving would come in is if it became a little bit more of a, if it turned into something to where it was not necessarily local per se, like, hitting karaoke bars or something, or even then starting another band. God knows how, I don't know how I would have the time, but something to that effect, that if it was something a little bit more, because, you know, I, you once in a while, like, you go into the mirror to kind of watch yourself, to see what you're doing, to see if there's, anything off. Because even then, sometimes, like, even what I've picked up on, with some of the tips and tricks I've seen with vocal singing, you can kind of see mistakes, and you can kind of look at what you're doing, and so it's, crazy to, do that. But I mean, it also is helpful tool too. And so once in a blue moon, when nobody's around, I'll go up into a mirror and I'll have my phone and I'll be, blasting a song and then singing just to see what it looks like, because you can't see yourself unless you're filming yourself. But if I'm using my phone for the backing of it, it's kind of nice. So, but yeah, so that was the other aspect of that. And so real quick, let's see. Ron, him and Terry sing. I know they do, and that's the thing. When we do karaoke, here and there at the Parafest and stuff, they're always out there. And I know they do it, where they live too. So, I mean, that's always awesome. Yeah, Amber, his singing voice is death metal harassment. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was some hard rock, a lot of, some metal, there was only like one set list one time. I did 3 songs, and for some reason I went into demon mode. So I was growling through vocals that were supposed to be clean the whole time. I don't know what the hell I was thinking on that one, but I was also in high school at that point. So happy Easter, Lisa. Dallas saying keeps us grounded. Also, everything understand. Yeah. Amber, I sound like a drowning cat. What music genre is that? Right? Good morning, Debbie. Nope, you're good. We're still having some fun here. Dallas saying my singing sucks. I play guitar. No, yeah. Slayer music. That's even better. I like that. My dad saying my singing voice sounds like a bull moon. Right. Well, and that's the thing is, like I said, it just was one of those things that, so there was, again, try to keep this story going because we could obviously go for a while, but keep the synchronicity part of the topic going. And so that's why I told Dan, I said, that's just some of the things I, would do. And then he was talking about how, he used to sing when he was younger and, and again, and I talked about the same thing. I just said, trying, doing this up and that stuff. But I said the point was, just getting, all this, and that would be one of the aspect of. So, and we were talking more and more, elaborating on some of the things, the acting and singing and stuff like that. Well, at one point, okay, this was, we're chatting because it was kind of fun to just talk, about this real quickly back and forth. And so at one point, he sees on his phone. And it's not going to come up on camera too well, but I'm just going to read it. But he sends a screenshot of this on his computer. And again, this is now where it's like, because he even says, he goes, something funny. And I'm like, what? And when I see the image, so I guess I'll try to display it. But so you got to remember, I mentioned acting first, right? So what do I see him posting? So that came up on his screen, World Theater Day, the best of Broadway. So so now we're both like, well, okay, yeah, that is kind of weird. Here it is, now granted, we know everything's listening to us and that, so, but it is interesting that, here was this popped up, and so, because again, I was talking about acting and here it is, I'm also talking about singing because even then there's the best of Broadway. And so I'm like, cool. Hey, Armani. So, I think we, and I said, well, and I said, well, how about that? No one's listening or picking up on our keywords at all, and we're laughing back and forth about it. So then how much time went by? Let me see. So I think it was almost about a half an hour later. No, see, now this definitely isn't something to pick up. So I have, on my phone, I have a holiday app. So it tells you all the different holidays that are going on for the day. Okay. Here's where the synchronicities really now kick in. So I pull it up because I'm like, because it comes up, it'll say, hey, you want to see what holidays are for day, because some of them are just, like what, and some of them are, important. I mean, they're, whether it's like cancer or something, what I mean? And other just unusual things. But this is what the holiday. So what day was this? This was Wednesday. This is what one of the holidays was for Wednesday. World Theater Day. Now that one cannot. Okay, Armani, cool. I think I just saw it, but I'll look at it in a minute. That one is not a trigger. That one, nothing's picking up because that's just on the app. That comes up. So I'm like, okay. So so now we're like this, and then as I talk about it, we're now trying to connect all the conversations together. And I said we love when this happens, and you get this going back and forth. So like, we're just dying about it. And so then we started saying about putting this together, but it was so interesting to throw this back and forth of here's all these things that ended up, syncing up, and there's no reason for it. I mean, the one that was on his computer and stuff, you could probably chalk that one up. But then again, mine just happening to pull up the holiday for that day, and it was World Theater Day. I mean, and see, and that's the thing is, it's just you. Sure, it could be coincidence, but at the same time, it just all lays out and all plays, and so how could you not appreciate that and notice it, and that's like the whole thing is a lot of us are just so we're ready for it, not in the sense that we're expecting it, but what we're doing is like we can tell when something's different or out of place in a good way, and so well, and it could be in a bad way too, but they pop up there, and then when they keep repeating themselves, because it's obviously something important. Now, could I look at this, with the help of Dan, could we look at this as something good for maybe me, maybe him, or maybe both of us? That's the next real aspect of it is it just connecting us, because all the stars aligned for us to have that, and that was the key moment between him and I that morning, or was it something else? Is it the possibility that, since a lot more theater stuff came up, could this mean, maybe there's some type of, getting back into theater again, auditioning for parts or something. I don't know. I haven't thought about it, but is this one of those things that the intentions out there to ponder more and to dive into, um, and so yeah, it was just it was so fun to have that, and that's why I said I wanted to share it because it not just from my aspect of it, but just so that way all of you can maybe notice it. If you get a day where just similar things around one thing keep happening, it's meant to be. I mean, I hate to put it that way, but I mean it in the most beautiful way. Is you have to know it. Just like some people, when we talk about dream interpretations, they um they have sometimes the same reoccurring dream, and sometimes there's changes or slight variations or different people, but sometimes the same thing happens, and it's for a reason, and these are things that's just hard to ignore. And so, it doesn't matter what you believe in, doesn't matter what if you have faith in any, particular religion or anything, it's just you look at it from a whole, universal aspect of it, of just like you got to at least be open enough to ponder it. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean you still have to agree with it or still not think that's just whatever. It's no big deal. It's just coincidence, even I keep saying it, but that's the best way to put it. But, um, and so that's just, it's hard to ignore it. And the more that I've been on this path, it's just, you have to note it. You have to have that written down in a way to where it either keeps evolving more to where it maybe opens other doors, and I'm seeing a couple of the comments there, but does it open other doors, or does it just open up the fact of, the possibilities of anything, even if it's a variation of like that. So if it's not necessarily on stage for something, is there a variation that maybe it's, for movies or something or whatever. And so it's just has that opening for it. So Ron says the more you sing, practice, your vocal range will. And Ron, I can attest to that, man. I truly can attest to that because the more I've tried to do the proper way of singing, I've noticed my vocals have changed so much. And um, there's and even then for my range and things, it's always been tough because I try to find um, groups, artists that my range will at least get close to it, to where you don't hear, because you could be off a half a step or you could be off a full. And so you're just completely off, which there's one group I really like the music, but I am like a whole, I'm a whole octave down or something like that. I'm like a whole couple steps away from them. So it's like if I sing along, it's really, cat on, even though if the tuning was matched to me, it would be fine. It would be in tune, but because of where they have it for that vocalist, it's off. So I love singing that stuff, but the problem is it's just you can because it's hard not to hear yourself. I don't know how some people can't. Just like if you ever watch me, if I'm a guest on any shows and I wear the headphones because I have to hear, because I don't like the laptop speakers because it'll hit the microphone and then create a feedback. So I put headphones on, but if you ever notice that if I ever turn slightly, in fact, I'll just show you a demonstration. Um, because I need to hear myself, but I I will wear my headphones. Like right now, my right ear is slightly off. So you can see my ear right there versus no ear. But I can hear myself just enough to where I can tell if I'm really loud, I can tell if I'm soft or something like that. But if I move it forward, I just sound like I'm like in a tin can muffled, real bad. So so it's hard not to hear yourself and know that if you're in tune or you're out of tune and things. So um let's see, let me go back a little bit because I saw some cool comments. Mouse, come here. Go back up. Duh, duh, duh. Wait one second. Also, then my dad was like, well, when you make it big, will you remember us? Dad, I think you might be one of those that I probably will forget. Just to be honest, I think, look, there you go, guy. Hold on. Oh, I'm not going to get it. Oh, no. See, there's another sign right there. What has happened? Anybody that's been on the show for for the last few years, I just had an angel feather go by. Thank you all. There you go. Let's see. You got to be open for this stuff when it happens. Well, that was pretty cool. I'm kidding. I'm kidding for the rest of you that think I'm like being mean to my dad. I'm not. If he's gonna crack jokes, I'm cracking jokes back at him. That's just the way the game plays. So Armani's saying you'd be good on stage. Yeah, I mean, I remember playing. I love playing, and that's the thing is that even just doing vocals by itself is weird. But if I have a guitar in my hand and sing at the same time, that feels more comfortable. Granted, I only get my guitar out a couple times a year, so I mean, I have no calluses at all. So it would take a lot of work to get my left hand back up to playing, ways. Debbie saying Broadway calling. You never know. I mean, that's a lot of time, but. Let's see. Armani, Les Miserables. That's my favorite musical of all time. Actually, I love that that musical. I mean, I really do. It's my all time favorite. So, uh, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I probably couldn't do a lot of their stuff because there's some pretty good. Some of that in the parts. I mean, they would really have to pitch it down for me. But you never know. Uh, Yeah, that's your vocal. My dad was saying. So when I was talking about stuff, that's your vocal range lower than your actual singing. Yeah. Ron says Terry gets mad at me because I can hit the higher notes than her. And that's the tough part too, is just being okay with it, being okay to know that you can do certain things and you're not going to be able to do other things, and that's tough. But you have to get through it. It's because you got to be happy what you can do, because you might be able to do something that the other singer can't do. Yeah, look at Mama Mia, my dad says. Kate says my daughter has a big life change coming up, moving out, going to Disney college, perform herself in Florida. She has said she has been having dreams of a 14-year-old family daughter trying to bite her. Oh, okay, wow, gotcha. We'll have to look. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Adam is joking. Don't take it. Right? Hey, Angel. What's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see. Yeah, Broadway is calling. Tell them you not to come over. Right? Exactly. Uh, the song number 309 from it. Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I haven't tried too many musical Broadway songs in a long time. I've been sticking to a lot of relatively more modern stuff. So I'd have to pull some stuff up. I'd have to listen to it a bunch of times. So could you pull up any of the songs from Rent? I know it. I have nothing memorized on Rent. So I'd have to listen to it a bunch of times and see if there was anything I could. But yeah, it would be fun. Well, and even then, it's just the point of singing. I mean, I literally have in my playlist, and it's funny, I even have it labeled as Adam's. So being a engineer, audio engineer, we use shorter terms, and so this is going to sound weird to some, but it says Adams Vox, VOX songs, and so Vox in recording world is vocals. It's just easier because when you're writing it down and saying what on the mixing board, you say Vox. It's easier because you can't, if you do vocals, it's the scribble. So if you do Vox, it's just easy. Like GTR, guitar, BAS for bass, DR, and then it'd be like Tom 1, Tom 2, overhead, OH for cymbals and things. So, but that's some engineering stuff. You go, audio recording stuff. But yeah, so I have my playlist as Adam Vox songs. And so it's everything that I enjoy singing. And I think I'm up to like, 50 some minutes, 55 minutes worth of vocal songs that I really like to sing along to. And my drive is always over an hour. So right now with construction finally kicked back up. So now it's back up to an hour and 10 minutes. So it really works out that I can pretty much sing the entire way home and completely be, set. So it's pretty darn cool. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, every time I find some songs or something like that, and then it's like I think I can do that, and then I'll try it a bunch of times, and then if I like it, then I put it to the playlist. So that way I just go into that, pull up that playlist, and then I even organize them to much like a band would do. You organize it from like, you could do some good ones and then you slow it down a little bit and then you pick it back up again. So I do got a pretty good range of things. Sometimes some of the topics are interesting with the songs, which if you were to hear majority of them, you'd be like, are you okay? Nothing horrible. It's just like, that's a lot of like one topic areas, which that's not the intention behind it. It was just the fact that I just like the songs. And for me, writing a few songs, and you appreciate the composing of the music, and then if there's vocals to it, then that's a whole nother aspect of it. And so it's a very, I appreciate that. So regardless of like the topic, which sometimes is great when it does relate, and then there's other times where it doesn't relate, but you still appreciate it and still love it, and I'm in that boat where sometimes it's not so much about the topic or what the baseline of what the song is about. It's just how it's all put together. Let's see. Della says, you're welcome. Thank you for being goodies in the Haunted Bazaar. Oh yeah. So she's talking to Nikki. Let's see, songs from the Crazy Topics, but they're very good. Yeah, no, and that's, like I said, it's just one of those things, but yeah, I just hope that everybody, as we get winding down here, hopefully you guys, do take notice. So, I mean, if you've never noticed, similar things with synchronicities happening, make sure that you do pay attention to them, because a lot of times if it's so repetitive, especially in the same day, you have to take notice. It's one thing if it happens once and then you're just like, yeah, whatever. And you can leave it as is, but if it happens a couple more times, like it did Wednesday between Dan and I, you just, how could you not, and so they finally noticed it, excuse me. And it's just fun when that happens, and it doesn't happen every day. Once in a while, I'll constantly keep getting messages in general, and those sometimes are just easy. But like this, where it was just between him and I, and we were just randomly talking about things, and then they started happening. It's like, you know what, it's kind of cool, Yeah, they are, Armani. They are very definitely odd, but it's really cool. It's so cool. When like I said, because they don't happen often. And I think I have to keep stressing that. It's like, it's not every day that you see this. And then, cause sometimes it's just one message, and the bulk of it is just overlooking it and moving on. And that's what we're used to. We all live a fast paced life, and we're always constantly on the go. And so, to stop for a moment, because even then, what do we do when we all stop? I mean, at least the vast majority of us, what are we doing? We don't stop and look around. We do this, we're stuck on our phones. And so we missing a lot, even more nowadays. And even then, it's scary to see the kids like that, And so, all right. Hey, Dan, you have a good one, buddy. Thank you. Thanks for letting me share the story, and have a great Easter. Well, I'll be talking to you, I'm sure you'll have a meme at some point today. or tomorrow, one of the two. But yeah, no, so yeah, yeah, it's they're important, and even then, it's nice to do that where like in fact, I guess I should say too, like putting your phone down once in a while, especially like when you're around everybody. It's okay to, you know, do a couple things or check a things, but put your phone down. Like last night, I guess I never finished that part of it up, but we were at the old mill last night, for those of you that know it. No ghost hunt. It was actually more of a team meeting. So we were trying to get some business done for the course of the this year. And so we're trying to get a bunch of dates, at least potential dates for, investigations, working on Parafest type of stuff. So, it was good meeting, and it was great to kind of get see, not everybody can make it, but a lot of us did. So we were able to really get some stuff set and ready to go, or at least, we got to get a lot of approvals for stuff. So it's not like I can even share something with anybody because there's nothing solid yet. It's just like, you got to have the meeting first to throw it all on the table. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we'll have some investigation, news that I'll share on the show, especially for anybody that's nearby. And then it'll probably be a little bit longer before we finally start announcing, speakers for Parafest, this year. We got to get people to sign off on it. Some of them have contracts. So, I mean, yeah, there's things like that until, a lot of these things are signed off and agreed upon, that anything can happen or change. And I don't want to, I don't like speculating on things like that, or even hinting at something being like, oh, you've seen this person before, because they could always change. And every, event, it can have that where somebody can drop out, you know what I mean? So, it's just, how it is. And so until we get more confirmations, then we'll start spreading the news, and I'll definitely do that here for anybody that's nearby or, is going to travel to the Parafest this year. So, but yeah, we got a lot of work done and stuff. We did walk around the building a little bit, I haven't been back there since November. So it was great to see a lot of familiar ghostly faces, so to speak. I didn't go to every spot, but just a couple of them. And so we did, so I did get to see a few key spirits that it's been a while. So, but interesting, it was real quick, is half an hour, 40 minutes of just, but it was good to catch up and stuff. And so we're going to be back again next Friday for a private. So we're hosting a private. So there's a team or a group that's coming together. So they're going to be there. So, we'll be there, but, we can't, depending on the group, we may not be able to go out other than the tour and things, or if they invite us to tag along or something. So yeah, we might not be able to, do a whole lot next week, but at least we'll be in all the areas and get to see everybody and say hello. So yes, Dad, I did. That's what I was saying. I did get to see some familiar ghostly faces. So, let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Sharon, have a good Easter. Happy Easter to you and your family. Have a great day tomorrow. Debbie saying, I need some paranormal adventures. Would love to check the mail out. I remember a long time ago, you mentioned the little girl and a spoon meat. Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So that, I saw my, the favorites, that are in the basement. So they definitely, they got a visit from me, and they surely visited back with me. So, it was good. It was good. It was a good, quick catch up and things like that. And, we had some, yeah, same to you, Armani. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was great. It was great to catch up. And cause like I said, it's been since November, and I know we've had one, maybe two this year. And, the one I missed was 3 weeks ago, was when my basement flooded that day. I was on, vacuuming water up that night. So yeah, I didn't get to go then, but that's a little understandable. But yeah, so it was cool. Let's see. Happy Easter, Debbie. Yep. And yeah, no, I'm gonna let you guys go. I got a few, I got some chores to tackle today, and then a couple other things. I got to see, we're possibly some Easter stuff today. I gotta see if that's happened or not. So um, yeah, we'll see. I didn't ask because I was gone last night, so I don't know if any other information came in and stuff. But so yeah, so I might have some Easter things to do today. If not, I'll, got a few other things I could be cleaning or fixing, that kind of thing. So Nikki, same to you. Well, Dad, yeah, we're working on public, so I mean, there's always a chance you can get on a public here. So like I said, once we get approvals from the mill and the board, then I'll be able to say something. But I can't even, we're gonna try. We've got a whole list of dates, so we've got plenty that hopefully will work out. It's just we got to wait for approvals, because we got to remember there's two sides to this. There's the museum side, and then there's the hall side, and we have to get both of them to agree. So, yeah, we can't. So I can't even say like this is it, because again they might say no, and then it was pointless to even say it in the first place. So, and I'm not big on hyping things up if I don't really need to. I'd like to hype it up when I know for a fact it's like locked. So, so we'll see. So we'll see. But yeah. So again, yeah, I'm going to get out of here and let you guys go on with your mornings or your afternoons, depending on where you are in the world. A few of you, and I appreciate you guys stopping by, hanging out with us, even if it's just for a few minutes. It always means a lot to see everybody. And why can't we do an investigation when they have a party? Well, I mean, we have done that before. It's just not easy because we can't go to that side of the building, and even then, you don't really want to go there right now because there's no road. There's no road, Dad. The road's gone. It is a dirt road. I'll send you a pic. It's all dirt. There is no asphalt, concrete. Done. They were repairing everything, so that whole Toledo Street is completely gone. So it's been that way for 2 weeks now, 3 weeks now. So they're, redoing everything. So yeah, it's just a dirt road with a lot of barrels and a lot of this road's closed. So yeah, it's kind of difficult, which is another reason why I'm kind of glad we're kind of delaying a little bit on things because it's like, it's really not easy, to park because you can't park on the street at all. So it's a kind of a pain right now. But anyway, so that doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you again, and for depending on what you celebrate, enjoy this weekend. Happy Easter to those that do, and yeah, I will be back again next week. We're gonna definitely do some Eclipse talk. I think that'll be good for it, and then we'll dive into all the aspects of the eclipse and things, not just from a very cool visual of it, but it's just the other spiritual meanings behind it and stuff. So, Jamie, happy Easter to you and your family. Margaret, you have a great weekend. Tina, happy Easter. And Armani is same. Absolutely, I agree. Um, anyway, you guys have been watching the mid-morning medium chat with Adam the Black Swamp Medium. Thanks again for being here. Thank you for staying and hanging out. And I will see you guys again soon. Hopefully I'll have some cool posts again. I know it's been a little off, but again, it just depends on what's happening. But I will be back as soon as I can. So you take care and I will see you soon. All my love, light, and peace to each and every single one of you.